How long have you been a smoker?
And how long have you loved him?
Brooks, how long have you been librarian?
Cameron, how long have you wanted to be a chef?
How long have you known your client?
Do you know how long I've had this car?
Exactly how long have you had him?
How long has it been?
How long has it been?
How long has it been?
How long has it been since Mom's funeral?
How long have you been a cop?
How long have you been a cop?
How long have you been a cop?
How long have you been a patient of Dr. Marvin's?
How long have you been a slave?
How long have you been back?
How long have you been here?
How long have you been here?
How long have you been here?
How long have you had it?
How long have you had it?
How long have you had this?
How long have you had this system?
How long have you hated your life?
How long have you known?
How long have you known Gary?
How long have you known him?
How long have you known this guy?
How long have you loved Callie?
How long have you loved me, Chris?
How long have you owned it?
How long have you owned the cafe?
How long have you owned this place?
How long have you two known Quinn?
How long have you wanted to be a singer?
How long have you wanted to kill him?
I was always wondering, how long have you been a cop?
Jamie, how long have you been here?
So how long have you owned the casino?
So, how long have you wanted to do that?
So tell me, how long have you owned the property?
And I've been here all day.
All my life I've wanted off this farm.
I've been your dad for 40 years and I've loved you all your life.
All my life, I've felt like somebody's.
I've had this all my life.
I've been a cop all my life.
I've been here all day.
I've been here all night.
I've been here all night.
I've been here all the time.
I've hated ice cream all my life.
I've loved you all my goddamn life.
I've loved you all my life.
I've loved you all my life.
I've loved you all my life.
I've wanted it all my life.
Yes, I've been here all my life.
You have seemed out of sorts all evening, and
You've seemed distracted all night.
And I've hated you my entire life.
You've understood everything we've said this whole time?
Because I've felt it my whole life.
I've loved you my whole life.
I've been here the whole time.
I've been here the whole time.
I've been here the whole time, Luke.
I felt it every single day of my entire life.
I've loved you my whole life.
I've loved you my whole life.
I loved you my whole life.
Mom, I've been here the whole time.
Oh, I've been here the whole time.
We've been friends our entire lives.
And for longer than that, it has belonged to the Van Ryn.
And I've believed for some time now.
Became everything I've hated for so long.
But I've loved you for 7 years.
For a really long time, I've felt like
30 years I've owned this auto.
Gilda, I've been your friend for 5 years.
I have known for months.
I have known you for almost 20 years,
I
man.
have known you for 5 years.
I have known you for most of my life.
I have owned your book for 20 years.
I've owned this for a while, but
I wanted to tell you for so long.
it has belonged to my family for a century.
I've been a cop for a long time.
I've been a cop for 20 years.
I've been a doctor for 20 years.
I've been a teacher for 15 years at...
I've been a teacher for 14 years.
Been here for days.
I've been here for 6 hours.
I've been here for 6 weeks.
I've been your friend for a long, long time.
I've been your friend for a long time.
I've been your primary psychiatrist for the last 2 years.
I've believed in you for a long time.
I've believed in your integrity for 10 years.
I heard about you for years.
I've had this car for about 25 years.
I've had this car for so long.
I've hated you for months.
I've loved you for a long time.
I've loved you for a very long time.
I've loved you for 9 years.
I've meant to for years.
I've meant to write you for some time, but have just been too darn busy.
I've owned that little sucker for a long time.
I've owned this house for 4 years.
I've wanted it for 5 years.
I've needed one for quite some time.
I've been a doctor 40 years.
I've been a doctor for over 25 years.
I've been a cop for 35 years.
I've believed in this project for a long time.
I've been a doctor for 25 years.
So I've been here for 4 years, and
Land has belonged to my family for 1,000 years.
this house has belonged to us and we to it for more than 2 centuries.
We have been friends for a long time.
We have been friends for a very long time.
Ms. Foster and I have had this argument for a long time.
The one man I've cared about in a really long time.
I've owned 4 small businesses in 20 years.
I'm feeling better than I felt in a long time.
Better than I've felt in a long time.
It's the best I've felt in a long time.
This is the best I've felt in a long time.
Aaron, I've understood since he was a child.
And I've wanted to be one ever since.
And that's all I've wanted since the minute I met you. But ever since the war, I felt like I've been missing something.
And I have believed in you since the second I signed up for this insanity. I have known you since the day you were born.
I have known you since you were a boy. He has hated me since the day I was born.
I've had this car since I was 17. I've had this appointment since June.
I have known most of the rebels since they were children.
I have known you since you were a kid.
I have known you since you were a toddler.
It's the first thing I've cared about since New York.
It's what I've wanted since I was a wee lad.
I've believed in ghosts for a very long time, since I was a young boy.
I believed in this ever since I came up from Cambridge.
I've cared for him ever since.
I felt it ever since the beginning of all this.
I felt like a fraud since my first day here.
I had the box since before I got married.
I've had this since I was a baby.
I've had this since I was a kid.
I've had this since I was a little girl.
I've had this since I was really little.
I've hated her since I was a baby.
I've loved you since I met you. I'm needed to pee since we passed the Eiffel Tower.
I've owned this store for 113 years, ever since I came to this country.
I haven't been able to eat a thing since yesterday.
I have had this gift since I first started hosting the show.
Do you realize where I've been since yesterday?
Since then, I've owned the house.
That house has belonged to Clark and Ruth Gibson since 1976.
The woman I've loved since before I even liked girls.
We've been here since yesterday morning.
What's inside that box, young lady, has belonged to me since before you were born.
And I've hated you for it ever since.
Has he seemed happier lately?
He has seemed different lately.
If I've seemed out of temper lately.
I've been busy lately.
I've just been a mess lately.
John Doe has been busy lately.
So I hear you've been busy lately.
Has Dick been busy lately?
Well, lately you seemed,